Hello everyone. I'm here with Gillian again. We're now in our comfy outdoor garden summer house. We're in a freezing cold gym in Clydebank, which we can't really do anything about because of the weather. But the last time me and Gillian got together, we talked about kind of you had questions from me,
Mhm.
from your clients, and I had questions from my clients for you. So that was really good. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I think a lot of people have said they quite enjoyed that conversation. They got uh, a lot of useful information out of it. I mean, have you heard anything back from your side of things?
Yes,
Yeah.
they quite enjoyed it as well. I suppose not everybody that is kind of like in my wee groups are like familiar with strength training, although I know the importance of it, maybe some of them still feel a bit apprehensive about it. So I think it definitely helped them begin a better understanding of it all.
Yeah. Good. That's good. That's the stuff
Mhm.
that's was the purpose of the
Yeah.
conversation to try and get them to start thinking about it and uh, the pillars of looking after yourself or your lifestyle, your diet and your training.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of I mean, the stuff that you do kind of covers more lifestyle and nutrition,
Yeah.
and I kind of dip a little bit into lifestyle with some people, but mostly it's nutrition and training. And
Mm.
but I need to talk about lifestyle with people because sometimes it's their lifestyle that's stopping the nutrition and the training becoming
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
to a level enough it's actually going to benefit them. So yeah, so what we're going to do with Gillian today is I'm going to take her through how I teach how people squat and people how to deadlift.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. Now, you do have some experience,
Mhm.
I'm assuming, with
Yep.
lifting. So that sometimes can be useful, sometimes can not. Sometimes there can be bad habits, and I'm not here to. Uh, some people think, like I said, I sometimes think I'm a bit too harsh on other personal trainers and other coaches because of the high levels of performance I expect from myself that I
Mhm.
don't see other. Obviously, you see clips on social media and things. You don't know exactly what's happening in someone's training, so you've got to have an open mind about it. But hopefully, this is as much as an instructional kind of occasion for you. There's other personal trainers out there who are wondering actually what is the progression to go through teaching someone how to squat.
Mhm.
And because a lot of personal trainers, I just see them go, they demonstrate the exercise
Right.
and then they go to the client, yeah, you do what I did.
Right. Okay.
And that's just not, for some people that'll work
Right.
because some people can, what I can watch what you do and I can pretty much
Yeah.
copy it after a few times trying it. But unfortunately, those people are very few and far between.
Okay.
And usually they're professional athletes because they're so good at just copying something,
Mhm.
they get down to that. Or they're very high level athletes. They're not somebody who hasn't been to the gym for 20 years
Uh-huh.
and hasn't done anything since they're a mum, they're 38, they haven't done any sport since they left school,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden somebody's just asking them to put a bar on their
To
back
do
and
something.
do a squat when they haven't been taught how to do it
Mhm.
properly. Okay, so the idea of this video is for everyone to get an idea of how to teach a squat properly. I'm not saying that everything I'm going to do today is perfect,
Mhm.
but it's the best way that I've learned how to do it.
Right.
People might have their different thoughts and different things, but hopefully we progress and we get you feeling like a good heavy squat by the end of today's session.
Okay.
Okay, and a good heavy deadlift as well. All right. Okay, so the first thing we do before we teach anything, we talk about kind of your training history.
Mhm.
So what you're doing just now, I know you're a runner.
Yep.
We're just telling me you're signed up for a High Rocks double.
Yes.
High Rocks, the thing that's sweeping the
It's
nation or sweeping the world. It seems to be.
I totally got in on that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what's your training looking like just now?
So I'm trying about like 2 strength classes a week.
Mhm.
And then a kind of like engine workout one that
Mhm.
we do.
Mhm.
And then to get the running back up
Yeah.
and going as well. So hopefully that's what's going to 2 to 3 sessions in the gym, 2 to 3 runs a week. hopefully.
So for anyone that doesn't know what high rocks is, do you want to just explain that a wee bit, or
Well,
do
I'm
you
not
know?
entirely sure.
I'm just gonna know it's gonna be hell.
I'm a bit different. So yeah, a kilometre, then like a functional exercise, a kilometre run, functional exercise, so they'll vary. So there's like the ski erg, walking lunges, wobble, squats, and in between each of them, there's a kilometre run.
Yeah, or
I think
might
it's
be a run.
I think
Be a
intention
shuffle.
to run. I think so. 8 kilometres, 8
Okay.
stations. I'm doing it as a pair.
How does that work with a
So,
pair then?
so I think
Does one do the run and one do the
no,
stations,
you do
or
both do
do both?
all.
All of it? Okay. Yeah.
So well, you can split like so. If say it's like 100 wobbles, you can split them between you when it's
Right.
pairs.
Okay. Yeah. But you're always doing the 1 kilometre
You're
run.
always doing that together. So there's like I need to get there are rules
Mhm.
which I need to get
Yeah.
familiar with
Yeah.
in terms of the technique and who can
Yeah.
be in front and all the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Like
So yeah,
make sure the reps count and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Right. So I mean, I don't have much experience with high rocks.
Neither do I, so we'll be fine.
But I do know that being stronger would be
Strong is
better.
going to help, absolutely.
Being stronger is going to be like you can be as fit as you want, but if you can't actually get the ball onto the target, which is a function of strength
Yeah,
more than fitness, you're not going to get
they're not
anywhere.
going to
So
do
you're
it.
going to be there all day. So being stronger, so having a better squat and a better deadlift is definitely going to help you
Yeah.
with that. Okay. So just get into doing a squat. Okay, so the first thing we do when we do a squat is we teach you how to squat without the bar.
Right.
Okay, so we just get a wee. So if you come and stand here and face that way. Okay, so I want you to take a stance that puts your feet about shoulder width apart. That looks pretty good. Good. And I want you to point your toes out a little bit more than that. 30 degrees, so straight forward is 0, straight out to the side is 90. About 30 degrees is where we start off. We can make adjustments as we need to. Okay, so this is a good stance. That looks fine.
Okay.
We want your stance to be wide enough that we can get down in between your knees and get
Okay.
a full depth squat. We don't want to be too narrow because then your torso will hit off your thighs and that will stop you getting all the way down.
Right.
We also don't want you to be too wide because then the muscles that help bring your legs in, so it's called your adductors, your adductors, they'll hit the end of their range of motion before you actually get the depth in the squat.
Right.
Now, why does depth matter? Depth matters so that we can have a consistent performance criteria over a training block or a training cycle of your whole training life. So that I know today you do X amount and it's the depth, and in several months' time you do X plus 20, then we know it's the same depth. We actually know that you got stronger rather than we just put more weight on the bar and your squat gets higher and higher.
Right.
So
Okay.
so the depth is really important. Okay. That might piss some people off. I don't know, but that's which not getting your squats to depth is the worst sin in personal training.
Right.
I feel,
Okay.
on my personal opinion. If your clients aren't squatting to depth, then they should be. All right. So that's a good stance. That looks absolutely fine. Now to squat, we're going to establish the bottom position of the squat. We're going to see how that feels. Okay. Now you got to do 3 things to get to the bottom position of your squat. Okay.
Right.
And we're going to talk about the room now. So you're going to lean over to point your chest to the floor. So just stay where you are just now. You're going to put your bum back to that back wall, and you're going to put your knees out to the side. And you're going to do all 3 of these things at the same time. So lean,
Okay.
butt back, knees out.
Okay.
Okay? When you get to the bottom, I want you to get your elbows inside your knees and shove your knees out with your elbows.
Okay.
Okay? Let's see how that looks. So look down at the floor. Get the elbow on the inside of the knee. That is absolutely perfect. Well done. Good. Right, you'll notice a few things. See how leaned over you are? You're very leaned over. That's probably way more leaned over than you've used to be in a squat. Okay? Your knees and your toes are pointing in the same direction. And if you just go a little bit lower for me, there, the crease of your hip and the top of your knee, you're maybe a wee bit high, but you're just getting warmed up, is parallel with the floor. Okay?
Okay.
So the crease of the hip and the top of the knee, they're parallel. Okay, come back. Okay, so your eyes are down, you're leaned right over, your knees and toes are pointing in the same direction. The crease of the hip, which is your depth marker, so that's where we want to like be that consistent marker, is just at the top of your tailor. Okay. Right, so that's what the bottom of your squat should feel like. Okay.
Right.
So go and try that again for me just to get comfortable. This is as much of a warm up as it is anything. There you go. Your depth's already better on this one. And then stand up for me. Good. Now, how you stood up there is a good sign because it means I don't have to teach you how to not lift your chest
Right.
on a squat. So we've talked about the bottom, your stance, talked about the bottom position. So that's the first two things on teaching a squat.
Right.
Next is how to get out of the bottom position.
Okay.
Okay. When we squat, we want to do our squat in such a way that we use the most amount of muscle mass. So that allows us to lift the most weight
Right.
because we're using the most, like the weight is spread out over the whole of our body rather than just one muscle group.
Right.
Right. And then thirdly, that those two things allow us to get the strongest just in general.
Right.
With the squat, we're training general strength, especially for someone who's not really squatted before, which I know isn't you. But if I've got somebody in here and I was only to do one thing with them, and they'd never exercised before, it would be
Be a squat. Right. Okay.
it's the best thing we can do for getting everything. Their
Everything
bench
going.
press will go up, their overhead press will go up, the lat pull down will go up, their deadlift will go up if they squat.
Okay.
Okay, right. So we want to use the technique in such a way that we satisfy all those criteria. So if you go down to the bottom position again, now what you're going to do is you're going to drive up. You're going to pretend I'm pulling you up from your leggings and drive your hips up in the air. I want you to super exaggerate it and drive your hips up. Go. Perfect. Well done. That might feel that's not how I'm going to get you to do the squat,
Right.
but
Okay.
the over exaggeration is better than lifting your chest first. What we don't want is to try and stay upright torso angle and lift your chest out of the bottom of the squat.
Right.
If you do that, you lose all the power from your hips.
Okay.
And what you just did, right? What you just did there is we call hip drive.
Right.
Okay. Some people will just do it naturally on their squat. Some people we have to get a little bit more focused on them.
All right.
To do it. Right. So I want you to do that 5 more times for me.
Okay.
Really exaggerate the hip drive. So go down to the bottom, drive the hips up. Excellent. Good. Good. Just three more. Good. Excellent. Now on this last one, I want you to try and get your hips and your shoulders to come up at the same time.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. That probably felt really strong and really fast. That was a perfect squat.
Okay.
Okay. That is absolutely spot on. So we've covered your stance, the bottom position, drive. Next, we'll get a bar on your back and see how you go. Okay. Right, let's get a bar. What kind of weight are you squatting?
I don't know. 30s.
See, we might. This is a 20 kilo bar, so we'll see if that goes okay. If it's maybe a bit too heavy, we do have lighter bars just for you to get the technique down. Okay. How many reps are you doing with 30 kilos? Go until they tell me to stop.
8. And then we'll do another exercise and then back to that
Yeah.
4 times.
Okay. Right. So we're in here. This is called a combo rack.
Right.
So we can squat out of this, we can overhead press out of this, we can bench press out of this, out of these weights here. Right? We want to set the bar up to the proper height. So we want to set the bar up so that it's just at the middle of our chest, probably just where your Adidas logo is in your t-shirt, about there. Okay, so we'll probably have to move these down a little bit. So let's that 15 on there. So all we do, just loosen that off. Let's put it down to 12. Lift it up a little bit. Slide it down. Yep. Yeah, around this side. Yep. Put it down to 12. Get it all the way through. And then slide it down. Maybe a wee bit low. Let's put it down to 10. Down to 10. Still a wee bit too high.
10.
Yep. For anyone that's wondering, there's wee numbers on the sides. Like 10 what? Okay. the bar, see if that's about the right height. That looks pretty much spot on. Okay, right, so we're going to do everything exactly the same. So it's going to be the same stance, it's going to be the same leaning over, up back, knees out. The only difference between here, which we would call an air squat, or a body weight squat, is you're going to have the bar on your back, so you don't have your elbows in to shove your knees out. So you're going to have to think about pushing your knees out to the side just a little bit more because you don't have that tactile feeling of getting your elbows in and shoving your knees out. Okay, so we want to keep the knee and the toe pointing the same direction. We don't want it twisting around the knee. Your knee can tolerate that a little bit, but if you keep doing it repeatedly with heavier and heavier weights, it'll just soften your knee and you'll get tendonitis or nothing bad's going to happen, but it's an issue we want to solve before it happens. Right, so with the bar, we're going to try and get the bar in what's called a low bar squat position, okay? So, stuff your hoodie up, because it's going to get in the way. So, you take your right arm and put it over your left shoulder, okay? You've got your scapula here, right? And then the spine. So if you pull this shoulder back, you feel that the muscle bunches up a little bit. You've got the back of your shoulder, and then you've got your traps here, and your traps go all the way down to the middle of your back. We're trying to sit the bar on that little ledge right there.
Okay.
And you've got this little bony ridge right here. That's called the spine. If you feel that with your fingers, you're trying to sit the bar just at the bottom side of that, just south of that, kind of towards your bum. Okay, that's where we're trying to set the bar. All right. Okay, so relax. Right, I want you to take put your hands on the bar wider than you think they need to be. And I want you to put your thumbs on top of the bar. There we go. Right, so we're going to stick your head under the bar, and we're going to try and get this bar in the right position in your back. I'm going to put it in the right position, a wee bit lower, a wee bit lower. That is absolutely perfect. Now, squeeze everything up here, pull your shoulders back, and I want you to stand up with the bar. Good. Come back from the rack. Get exactly the same stance as you had over there. A wee bit narrower. That's a bit wider than you were. Goes out just a tiny bit more. Now, lean over. No, don't go yet. Do all three of these at the same time. So lean over, butt back, knees out. And drive your hips up. Good. I just want you to hit the bottom, just go straight back up like a little bounce. Excellent, Gillian. Now, the bar, you're feeling the bar up here. I want you to pretend the bar's sitting on your, okay? Big breath, pretend the bar's sitting at the bottom of your back. And you go, drive the hips up. Okay, so the first thing that's happening when you come out the bottom is you're lifting your chest. I want you to drive your hips up. So drive your hips. Better, that felt different. Yeah, felt stronger. Yeah, do two more. Excellent. One more. You're lifting your chest again. Okay, do one more for me. Drive your hips. Drive the, yes, there you go. Good. Walk it forward till it's in the rack. Yep. Yep, good. So when we re-rack the bar, make sure we walk forward till we hit here, and then we go down. Okay? Don't try and put it in there, because you'll do what you did there, and you'll be looking that side, and then you'll miss on this side. Okay, that's just a wee safety thing. Right. So that's your first ever set of low bar squats. How'd that feel?
Good.
You feel the difference when you got it right and you were lifting your chest? So that would be, you've maybe been taught how to do like a high bar style squat. That's fine. I mean, it's not going to make too much of a difference. The reason this will feel a bit more like you'll feel stronger with this squat because you get more of the hips. So like your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, everything's working together, even like into your lower back, everything's working together to allow you to get the most muscle mass involved in the movement, so you can get it stronger for longer. I just call it the squat. I don't call it a low bar squat. If someone needs to high bar squat with me, it's usually because they've got some sort of a shoulder mobility issue and they can't get the bar in the right position. But you were fine. You were fine. Okay. We're going to try a set with another. Let's try another set with the empty bar before we start adding any more. So what we're going to do today, workout for this today, we're going to work up and we're going to do a top set of 5 reps. okay? That's like a 7 out of 10. Something that's just starting to challenge you, and your form might be starting to break down a little bit, and then I get to see what the weak links in the chain are and cue you on some things and make sure everything holds together under some heavy weight. Okay. In your mind, I want you to imagine the bar sitting here. Okay, you're going to feel it up here, but I want you to imagine the bar sitting here. So that's going to be what's the cue to get you to drive your hips up. Okay. Try and keep this. Try and keep your wrist straight. Should feel a bit tight on the front there and go a wee bit to your right. That is totally fine. You do this for a couple of weeks and that goes away. Good. Eyes down on the floor. Fantastic, Gillian. Well done. Good. Take a big breath and hold it. Good. Don't pause at the bottom. Bounce. Boing. Lifting your chest. So remember, drive your hips. Think about the bar on your hips. There you go. Good. You feel the difference? Yep. One more. Excellent. Drive it. Drive it. Drive those hips up and walk forward. Yeah, there you go. That's you. Excellent. Yeah. So you see if you just, that's another thing. See if you just walk forward till you feel it hit something and then just gently slide it down. You don't even have to look. Okay. Right. That was really good. Let's chuck 2.5 on. See what 30 looks like. Hold on. Come back out. Remember, thumb on top. So here's a good thing. The reason we put the thumb on top, okay, a lot of people when they squat and they squat starts getting heavy, they get sore elbows. Right. Because what they're doing is they're actually using their arms to push the bar up their back and hold the bar on their back. Now, if you're only ever squatting 30 kilos, that's probably not going to matter. The reason we take a thumbless grip is we can keep the wrist straight and we can stop any forces going down the arm and into the elbow, so you don't get sore wrists and you don't get sore elbows. The thumbless grip helps us do that by creating tension across our shoulder girdle to pin the bar on our back rather than hold the bar up your back with your arms. Because it's called a back squat, not an arm squat. An arm squat's a bench press. Go a tiny bit to your right. Yeah, yeah. That's a big bit. There you go, that's perfect. Right, there you go. Good. Now stick your chest out. Nice big breath. Good. So we don't want to pause. Bring your heels. Oh, come back up. Come back up. Bring your heels together a little bit. That's perfect. Right there. Now, nice and slow on the way down. Lean over. Big breath. Drive the hips. Excellent. Straight up. Okay, you're lifting the chest first. I want you to drive your hips up first. There you go. Good. One more just like that. Excellent. Good. Rack it. Well done. As the weight gets heavier, you're at the top, you're almost like leaning back like this. As the weight gets heavier, you'll only need to come to here. Legs straight, hips straight. And as the weight, because the weight's behind you, you'll need to just lean forward just slightly to keep your center of mass over the middle of your body, the middle of your foot. Because we don't want it, if you stand up and go like that, you just go, okay? As it, and it'll be fine with 25, but also you're like this. Now you're having to use your arms to pin the bar on your back rather than letting gravity and the tightness. Okay, that'll be good. How'd that feel out of 10? Easy. Easy. Not even registering yet. Okay. So take the 2.5 off. So see the wee red button? So the wee, yeah, so just push it down and flip the thing up. Just watch your nails. Many a nail have been many a nail has been broken on these. There you go. I'm sure you paid a lot of money those for those. So take the 2.5 off, and then so on this plate tree, yeah, just put them on the floor. On this plate tree here, we've got 25s all around the bottom, then we've got 5s, 10s, 15s, 20s. So grab a 5, the hit there. Right. Do another set of 5s. Serious with the hood on. Right. Wee bit lower down your back. Good tiny bit to your right. So hold on, come back out, come back out. So this is feeling a bit, it's not setting up the middle of the back because look at this distance here and look at this distance here. So you will naturally set yourself, whatever rack you're in, whether you're in like a power cage like over there or where you're in a combo rack, you will naturally set yourself up in the middle of the rack. So just make sure the bar in the middle. And now when you set up, you should get, that's perfect. There you go. Good. Good position on the back. Right. Big breath, Gillian. Don't have to go too fast. Slow and controlled. By the hips. That was chest first. Yeah. Drag the label on your leggings up. There you go. Excellent. Depth is good. Shove your knees out. Okay, stop there. Stop there. I want you to go hips and knees at the same time. Okay, so knees out. Yes, there you go. Perfect. Well done. Racket. That's 5. Good. Did you feel the difference in that last one? Okay, you were kind of going hips, you were like leaning over and then your knees were going. So we want to do all 3. So lean over, hips back, knees out, all at the same time. Okay, because if you end up going like that, it's going to feel, because you're bringing the weight way over your toes. We want to keep your center of mass, which is your center of mass and the bar together, okay, over the middle of your body. Now, as the weight gets heavier, we can start to, some people are squatting 1 times their body weight, 2 times their body weight, even some people even squat 3 times their body weight. When you start getting to those levels, we can then approximate the bar as the center of mass because it's so much heavier than you are. You're kind of like insignificant towards it. So like, so another set of 5. Looks good. Back. Find the balance in the middle of your foot, eyes on the floor, big breath. That was okay. Stay in the middle of your foot. Excellent, Gillian. Good. 2 more. Stay leaning at the top. Lean forward just a little bit. There you go. Fantastic. Well done. Good. Back it. All the way in. Mm-hmm.
Somehow it's got a really weak back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's like the impact of running and then doing some lifting. But sometimes actually it's fine in the gym, and then it's when I go and do something insignificant in the house. It's always the same, but always lower back.
You deadlifting?
I get a bit fear of the deadlift because it's the hin. It seems the time that I have felt it sore in the gym is those hinged movements. Feel it then, so I would sometimes use a trap bar as my deadlift as opposed to being leaned right over.
The issue with a trap bar is it just ends up being a quarter squat.
Right.
It just ends up being a squat with a bar in your hands. So a lot of people think that squats and deadlifts are kind of interchangeable. They're not. They're 2 different movement. They're 2 different movement patterns. They're working two different aspects of kind of human movement. So a squat is loading the squat. So to squat down in between your legs and stand back up, drive. But the hinge is exactly what, as you described it. That's what a deadlift is training, is the hinge. Uh, and we'll have a look at your deadlift form and we'll see how that is. And we'll see how it is and we'll see.
And then you get it in your head and you writing this stuff, do you know what I mean? Because you're like not wanting to hurt yourself.
So the way that people hurt themselves in the gym is basically they look, whatever they hurt, whether it's their hamstring or their shoulder, or what they do is they lift too heavy too often for too long. And that's really and the way technique or the way you perform of where you perform how you perform the movement, the way that that builds into that is we want our form, like I said, we want our form to use as much muscle mass as possible so that not one specific part is getting really stressed a lot with a big heavy load. We want it spread out everywhere. So what might be happening with your deadlift, and we'll see in a minute, is you're maybe not quite setting your back properly. So then there's one specific, when you don't set your back then becomes rounded, and then a lot of it will get a lot of the force will in the low back, rather than if your back is flat and set well, everything's contributing from like your hips all the way up to like your upper back. Everything's helping, everything's kind of doing their part, rather than like basically your upper back just being along for the ride and your lower back taking the brunt of things. We'll see what it looks like on the
back. A few times and they were saying my glutes and my core to like strengthen them to help the back. So
you just got to get your back stronger. It's the I mean that's another thing. It's like the amount like I've been doing this for maybe 7 years in March that I've been doing this for, and I can count on one hand the number of physios that I've met that I feel that actually know what they're talking about. Really? And the problem with physiotherapists is they have all the knowledge, they have all the training, yeah, but they very much lack the experience in actually getting people stronger. Now, you could argue whether that's their job or not. I feel a physio's job is to get you back to zero. Yeah. And then my job is to make sure. So if you think of zero as like every day you've got a floor and a ceiling on your performance for that day. So I think my job is to make sure that window goes up over time, so that the ceiling of the least amount you can do, even if you are the shittest day of your life, you've just been fired and you've had a fight with your husband and you've your Wayne's just been suspended for school and like everything's going wrong. If I know that on that day you can lift more than you did 6 months ago, then we definitely know you got stronger. Yeah. You become a more resilient person, and that helps you outside the gym as well as it does in the time, because when you've done something really scary that you don't really know whether you can do it or not, there's that little bit of self-doubt, and you voluntarily accept that burden and come out the other side, maybe not completely unscathed, but you've got through it, you didn't die, then you multiply your ability to be courageous in the rest of your life. So that's the idea. Right, we're going to do 3 sets of 5 reps with this. Okay. Oh, come back out. Watch your hood. Get your hood up. You feeling warm? No. Okay. So just a few couple of things, right? Don't stand up like you're almost like a negative angle at the top. So just like 5 degrees leaned over at the top. Yeah. Okay. Big breath. And then when you're on the way back up, drive. And think about the label on your leggings. Think about shoving that up in the air. Okay. Leave it to your right, Gillian. That's perfect right there. Shuffle your feet. Oh, yeah, you're good. Good. Yep. Right. Nice big breath. Lean over, knees out. Good. Drive the hips though. Hips. Excellent. Good. Stay leaned over. 4. One more. Excellent. That is absolutely fantastic set of squats. Well done. All the way in and racket. Swat your finger. Good. Yeah. Oh, high five. Well done. How'd that feel? Mm-hmm. Felt a bit more natural. Yeah. You were just here and you were having to go, like you were at like past 0 degrees and you were having to go there before you could let your hips go back. Otherwise because if you let your hips go back from here, you're just going to fall over. So you were having to like get to you were like starting, you were like, here's your starting point. You were having to like take a wee run to get it. Okay. It was good. That was absolutely fine. So we'll do 2 more sets for that. And hopefully when you go back to your other gym, you don't get shouted at for doing low bar squats. What you could do is maybe send Send the guy that does your, send him this and say, this is how I'll be doing squats from now on. Like, but does that feel better? Yeah. I mean, that's 40 kilos
Right.
you've got on there. So that's 10 kilos more than you normally lift. And that looks pretty straightforward. I think that's a good starting point. So, do you get any questions?
No,
No?
I suppose it definitely feels different doing
Mhm.
being lower
Mm.
arms, and I suppose being more over when I'm down as
Mhm.
well. I think I'm probably more straight,
Mhm.
like chest
Mhm.
than chest down. So I suppose that feels a wee bit different, like when I'm actually down.
Yeah. Does it feel more natural though? Or does it feel smoother?
Aye, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely thinking about each of the
Yeah.
three bits that you've told me.
Yeah. So when you get to the stage where this feels natural, when you try and go back to high bar squat, you'd be like, ew, I don't like this anymore. Yeah, so it's and I do high bar squats sometimes just as a variation. But when someone's starting to lift, you want to get them the wins as quickly as you can, just to get them bought in and get them together. Now, once you if you've been training for 5 years and you've been consistent, I mean, you could argue whether I've been consistent over the last 5 years or not, but like, that's another question. You've earned the right to change things up a little bit, and you've earned the right because you've put the graft in. My low bar squat is fine. I mean, it's not as strong as it was 2 years ago, but it's my technique's good, and if I want to do some high bar squats every now, if I want to do some leg press every now and again, then that's fine. But the thing with learning how to do the big movements well is the cues and the body awareness and how to think about how your body's moving transfers well over to everything else.
Right.
Okay, like back squat will get your leg press up,
Right.
whereas maybe a leg press might not get your back squat up. So you want to do things that have like a downstream effect rather than things that don't have an upstream effect. So the way I'm doing my training right now is I'll do an upper lower split. So I might do the occasional full body workout, but I try and get 3 workouts in a week, and I do what's called an old man 4-day split. So I do 1 week, I'll do upper, lower, upper, and then the next week I'll do lower, upper, lower.
Right.
So a 4-day split is usually 2 upper and 2 lower in a week, whereas I stretch it out over to 9 days.
Ah.
So just because I'm training a lot for basketball right now, I've got 2 young children, so I don't always get to sleep that well. I've got other stuff going on. It makes my workouts a bit shorter. I've got a business to run.
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of coaching myself right now. I'm definitely not pushing myself as hard as I would if I didn't have a coach, but I'm doing something which is better than nothing. I've had a coach in the past.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt Reynolds, who was fantastic. He got me the strongest I've ever been. And yeah, I might see if he'll coach me again at some point in the future. Right, let's do another set. Good. Eyes down. Good. Keep your eyes on the floor. Big breath, Gillian. Stay leaned. Stay leaned over. Excellent. Good. Very good. All the way. Like that. Perfect. Another good. Because you're stepping back like this, and then you're stepping forward like this. Yeah. So you're going that way every time. Yeah. Absolutely. You were fine. I would if you were going to trap it, I would have said something, but you were just a whisker away. So, so
In the morning.
mhm.
Do you think there's a best time of the day to train, or is it just whenever?
Never suitable. Yeah. Now, if you had the option to train any time, I think mid afternoon that tends to be the time where people's your cortisol's kind of come down from the morning. You've got more energy. You've had your breakfast. You've had your lunch. You've had more calories through the day. The only thing with training first thing in the morning, the only thing with training first thing in the morning is it's all about, well, if you're used to it, you're used to it. If it's the only time you can fit it in, that's better than not training at all. Yeah, yeah. So, but like mid after, yeah, yeah. But it's not like you're gonna get. It's not you're not gonna hurt yourself first time. I mean, you might take a little bit longer to warm up because you've just yeah, yeah. Aye, so like the you've just woken up from being immobile for 8 hours, so everything's a bit stiff when you first wake up. And you'll usually find this like within 5 minutes you've started moving around and everything. So just more warm up. So maybe if you're lifting weights first thing in the morning, maybe do like 5 minutes on the bike or 5 minutes on the treadmill, or just yeah. So just or 5 minutes pushing the sled up and down just to get your heart rate up and get the what we call the synovial fluids. So that's like the fluids that's in your joints. Get them lubricated, get them moving, get some blood flow, get your heart rate up, get your core body temperature up as well.
And then there was a period, I had this thing on at work which meant I couldn't go in the morning and I was going at night, and it was felt like it was the worst thing I'd It was like 6 o'clock at night is an evil time to
Yeah.
I'd been talking to myself about it all day.
Yeah.
And you were just like, you were so ready to go home.
Yeah.
You just had to go. So whereas I think in the morning you just get automatic pilot, like clothes nearly just go on and go out to work.
You ever heard of Eat the Frog?
Yes.
So the hardest thing you've got to do in your day, do it first. Last set, then we'll do some deadlifts. It's good, Gillian. Good. Eyes down. Excellent. Stay leaned. Stay leaned. Good. Stay leaned over. Excellent. Two more. Good. One more. That is fantastic. Well done. Right. So that thing there is a deadlift jack. If your gym doesn't have a deadlift jack, then you need to go to the gym owner and say, get a deadlift jack or I'm leaving. Uh, because it lets you change the weights super easy. Because it's off the floor, yeah. Move this out of the way. So, see the white plates on the end? Stick one of them on each side. Come on this side of the bar and face the gym. Right, so 5 steps to a deadlift. So just like your squat, we went through your stance, the bottom position, hip drive, the bar position on your back, and then we got you to do a squat. We do the same, similar idea, teaching progression from the start to the finish on your deadlift. Now, fortunately, deadlift's a lot simpler. Or well, it should be anyway, right? Okay, so it's just 5 steps to a deadlift, and all of them are pretty simple. There's nothing, you're not having to do 3 things at once like you are on your squat. That's why the squat's a bit more of a complex movement pattern, because we have to lean back and knees it all perfectly on time. And that's where a lot of form issues come with the squat, is kind of an out of order sequence of those 3 things results in a downstream error in the form that makes the squat feel a bit funky, and people like thing called knee slide, or they sit too much far back, or like some they get off balance or something like that. But that's all complex. Well, not that complex, but technical stuff that nobody's really that interested. So squats look good. They look really good. So I'll probably get some hater on the internet saying, "Why are you teaching that?" But yeah, we'll see. Right. So first step for your deadlift is to get your stance, just like your squat. We're going to take a narrower stance than your squat. We want your ankles below your hips, so about 10 inches in between how big your hips are. So keep your toes there, but bring your heels together. That's, yeah, perfect, right there. That looks about right, okay? And then I want you to come forward so that your shins are 1 inch away from the barbell. Now what we're doing with this stage is you come back, just go that way. No, just it just needs to be a fraction, a wee bit further forward. Perfect, right there. Right. So what we're doing here is we're setting the bar up over the middle of your foot. Okay?
Okay.
Right? Heavy deadlift will not leave the floor until it gets over that mid-foot point.
Right.
So if you're lifting a deadlift and it's out over your toes and you're lifting it, it means you're leaving weight off the bar. You could be lifting heavier for the same amount of effort. You could be getting stronger for the same amount of effort. So we don't. So this is minimizing wasted effort. Okay?
Right.
So that's step number 1. So that's your stance. Where is that covering in your shoes?
It's like right over my waist.
Perfect. That's exactly where most people are.
Right.
Okay? The bar is covering the knot in your shoelaces, and that's absolutely perfect. Okay, right. The next stage is to put your hands on the bar. So we're going to bend at the hips. A little bit of a bend at the knees. A little bit of bend in the knee, it's fine. Kind of slack knees. Don't have to be poker straight. But we're just going to bend at the hips and grab the bar just outside your legs. Wee bit wider than that. Yeah. So we're actually, yeah. So what we want with this, come up, relax. So what we want your arms to be parallel with each other. Okay. So if our arms, watch what happens to the height of my hands when I put my arms out. Okay. My arms are still straight, but now when I bend over, I'm going to have to, if I was to hold the bar way out here, I'm going to have to bend over more to grab the bar. So we want there, so that my arms are the longest they can be. So now I don't have to bend over more. Now, a wide grip deadlift, also known as a snatch grip deadlift, might be a variation we want to do on the deadlift at some point in the future. But just now, we stick with a big basic movement. Okay, so bend over, grab the bar. Good. Now, let your bum drop down until your shins touch the bar. Good. Now, we don't want to move the bar from that mid-foot position. Good. Now, you're going to squeeze your chest up, shove your knees out to the side, and then drag the bar up your legs. Perfect. Well done. Return the bar to the start. Okay? Let go. Step back. And we're going to do all 5 of those steps again. So, feet, hands, chest, feet, hands, shins, chest, drag. Okay? All right? Now, the reason we go back and forth from the bar is because when we're actually doing a set, we only actually get to do all 5 of those steps on the first rep. And then from there, you're just doing shins, chest, drag for the next rep, shins, chest, drag. So we want to drill the setup to begin with, okay? So we'll go feet, and then hands, and then shins. Keep your toes down. So weight forward a little bit. There you go, perfect. Good. Chest and drag. Good. Come back. You hear that little click before you lifted the bar? I want you to get a click, and then pause, and then a lift. So what's that doing is that click is the outside diameter of the bar hitting the inside diameter of the sleeve. Right. So this bit here is called the sleeve. That's called the bar stock. Right. And that's taking the slack out of the bar. So at the moment it's like water running along the bottom of a pipe. Okay. A really inappropriate signal there. Right? And so it's like the bar stock is on the bottom of the sleeve, but we want the bar stock to hit the top of the sleeve. So that's what that little click is. So when you're here, you go click, and then you go. Right. Then you're setting the bar onto you. Yeah. A wee bit you're too close. Too close. Too far away now. There you go. Perfect. There, right there. Good. You do 2 more. You'll get the click, pause, and then drag. So shins, weight on your toes, weight on your toes. So weight forward a bit. Yeah, there you go. Keep your hips up. That was better. 1 more. So the reason you're like this at the bottom is because you're not having your weight on the middle of your foot. You need to Get your weight forward a little bit so your foot. If I was to just take a camera and point it at your feet, it should look like nothing's happening. Right. It should look like your foot is just planted there, and then at the top of the frame of the camera, we just see the bar going up and down, okay? So keep your toes down. Oh, yeah, stop, come back, come back. So you're getting too close to the bar, right? Set the bar over the knot in your shoelaces. Perfect. Now you shouldn't come onto your heels this time. Weight forward. So touch my hand with your shoulder. There you go. Good. Squeeze. Click. You didn't wait for the click. You went. Do one more. Do one more. Click. And then drag. So, feel it heavy? Yes, there you go. Perfect. That felt better, didn't it? Yep. Good. So what we're basically doing there, when the bar gets heavy, if you don't wait for that click and you just try and rip it, so grip it and rip it, they call it, you're going to get pulled out of position because the bar and you are smashing together rather than coming together gently. And then, because a heavy deadlift is never going to be fast. Yeah. And that's the mistake a lot of people make, is they try and make their deadlifts fast off the floor. Yeah. Actually, the deadlift gets faster as you go up if you're in the correct starting position, because all your leverages get better. Your hips are far away from the bar here, but then and your hips get closer, so you actually could get faster as you get to the top. Okay, right. And the reason people try and get fast off the floor with a deadlift is they really over exaggerate their leg drive. They get their hips really close to the bar. They don't set their back. So typically what you'll see on that is someone will be really fast from here to here, and then they'll be like this, like that, and they're like, no, and they don't, because they haven't set their back. They're trying to get their back from here to here with a big heavy load in their hands. And you can't do that. I mean, there'll be a weight where up to which you can do it, but then all of a sudden there'll just be a weight where your back's just not strong enough to go from here to here with it in their hands. God knows how many people I've seen at powerlifting competitions do it that way. So, right. How'd that feel? Quite light? Yeah. So a jack under. And yeah, you get to use the jack for the first time. So just take the handle forward, slide it into so the bar's in the wee channels. Yep, lift it up onto the platform. There you go, and then just push the handle back. Here we go. Right, we'll take the white ones off, and we'll put green plates on. So your deadlift will work to just one top set of 5 reps. Okay, so this time we're not going to step away. We're just going to put it down where you picked it up from, and then go shins, chest, re-click, and then drag. Good. Stand tall at the top. Don't lean back. Stand tall. Better. Stand tall. Excellent. 2 more. Big breath. Keep your toes down. Weight forward. Weight forward. Good. Well done. The wee checklist you should be going through in your mind, I want you to include toes down, because every rep is just a little bit too far on your heels. Your foot's just like this. I mean, that's me really exaggerating so you can see what I'm talking about. So in that wee checklist you're going through in your head, just add toes down to that. Right, 5 reps again. I mean, that 40 looked super easy. Oh, stop. So the bar moved when you put your hands on it, so that means it wasn't the right position to begin with. So from that step 1, the bar shouldn't move after you've got that step 1 if you've set it up correctly. If the bar's moving, that means either you've put your hip too low or you're moving the bar towards you because it's too far away from you. All right, so get the bar over the middle of your foot. The bar should not move from this point onwards unless you're pulling it off the floor. Good. Squeeze your chest up, feel the click. Excellent. Push down with your feet. Excellent. Fantastic. 2 more. Stand tall. Don't lean back. Good. Squeeze your bum at the top. Squeeze your butt. Good. Well done. Easy, Gillian. Easy. Best way to let you learn is let you struggle. Okay, so I think if you've done 80 for 3 in the past, I think you'll get this. No bother. That's 60. 60 for 5, and then if we're getting close to our top weight, this will tell us. Do 5 reps with this. 5 reps. Good. Feel the click. Goes down. You can look down at the floor. Good. Be patient with the pull. Excellent. Good. 2 more on the shins. 1 more. Hold it there. Hold it there. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Don't jerk it. Squeeze it. That was a bit better. Good. Well done. Good. Easy. I would have probably just cut all that out anyway. Right. Perfect. Good. Right. 5 reps, Gillian. Squeeze. Feel it heavy through your arms. Long arms. Perfect. Good. 3 more, just like that. Push for the middle of your foot. Good. 2 more. Big breath. Don't start jerking it. I want you to squeeze it. So feel it hang from your arms. Yes, there you go. Good. Well done. Good. Spot on. Well done. That's a really good set of deadlifts. So what will start happening is if you start going like that, it's going to pull you out of position as it gets heavier, because it's like if you're just standing there and then all of a sudden I just drop the bar on your back for squatting, you've got a big shock and your balance will get pulled. Whereas if you squeeze into the bar and just lift it gently and then step back, that's kind of the similar thing we're doing with deadlift. So squeeze it up, feel it through the middle of your foot, feel long arms, feel your arm get pulled straight, and then you'll accept the bar into yourself, and that'll be everything. Okay? Right, well done. Good job.
Yep.
Good job. Anything like that?
No, no questions. I think it's.
Was there any further questions from our last chat from any of your group?
No, so one of the ladies that hadn't not like in the group as
Right.
such anymore. And I'd said to you that my friend, remember she was asking about strength training due to a condition. So she started doing the reformer Pilates, which I think is a version of torture as well. So
Yeah, don't get me started on Pilates. It's yeah, I mean, Pilates is like a kind of a cult. I feel like it's not like it's fine. It's better than doing nothing.
yeah.
But I feel it's very much like how do you make Pilates harder? That's my question.
Oh, whereas in here you add to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I can make this hard. I can make this go up by 1 kilogram at a time if I really need to. But and we're loading natural human movement. Whereas I feel Pilates is just I mean, I might just be ignorant. Like I've never tried it. It's never something I've wanted to try. So you've always got to temper these things with your own personal bias. And obviously I would want a list of clients going out the door waiting for me to help them, but all depends on what you enjoy, what you have access to. That's why I really like the online coaching, because the online coaching allows, and I'm not saying they have to, like, you can be online coached by someone else, but allows you to access, like, my old coach, Matt Reynolds, lives in America, lives in Oklahoma, right? So I get access to this guy who's got so much knowledge and so much experience in getting people stronger that I would never have got access to if it wasn't for like online coaching.
For the internet as well.
Yeah, but but thanks for coming
Well,
today.
thank you very much.
That like did you?
That?
Yeah, hold it a wee. Did you learn a lot from that?
Yes, I think I think you can think you know what you're doing
Mhm.
because you do something all the time, but then when you learn the different technique and even just a slight change in position and the difference that that makes
Does that, did
and
that feel
feel,
a lot better than what you were doing before?
yeah,
Okay.
and definitely the back squat, that lower position,
Mm.
and the looking at the ground more, whereas I think I was definitely more right.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
think I'm going to keep
So,
going with
keep
that.
keep going with that. Okay. Just hopefully you're the guy in Command doesn't shout at you.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he won't,
Yeah.
not at
Right.
all.
Okay.
Thank
Right.
you.
So that I'll put this up on YouTube. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit like. Any questions, anything you want to shout at me for doing wrong, just put in the comments. It's all good. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.
Yeah.